to evolve, and it just didn't evolve with the virus. He's incapable of keeping up.
About $1 million worth of jewelry.
Good morning, everybody.
From actress Lori Loughlin, TMZ says burglars broke into her LA area home and made off with her jewelry on January 3rd when the actress and her husband were not at home. And police say the suspects dressed in black wore masks and smashed a bedroom window to get in. The theft was discovered by a housekeeper. No injuries were reported. You're listening to USA Radio News.
The greatest radio shows of all time.
Frank Sinatra and Rocky Fortune.
Classic radio theater.
Master of the United States Marshals. The story of Dr. Kildare. Captain Show, starring Bob Hope.
The greatest radio shows of all time. Classic radio theater with Wyatt Cox. On this radio station or wherever podcasts are heard, just by searching for it. Classic radio theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic radio theater with Wyatt Cox.
A huge industrial blaze in northern New Jersey over the weekend. Here's the latest from USA Radio's Wendy King.
A fire broke out at an industrial complex in New Jersey. The fire broke out at Majestic Industries in Passaic. No injuries were immediately reported. Smoke from the fire billowed across the Hudson River into New York City and more than 50 miles into the Atlantic. Majestic Industries manufactures furniture for casinos. Flames spread to an adjoining building used by Qualcomm, but didn't reach the chlorine pellets that are manufactured there. New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection representatives, which were sent to the site by New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, determined the air quality was safe. From the USA Radio News Pacific Northwest Bureau, I'm Wendy King.
And the Buffalo Bills move on to the next round in the NFL postseason after a 47-17 rout of the New England Patriots in the AFC Wild Card game. Josh Allen torching New England secondary. He passed for 308 yards and 5 TDs. Buffalo scored touchdowns on 7 of the team's 9 possessions, with kneel downs to end each half on their 2 scoreless drives. For the Patriots, it was their most lopsided defeat in the postseason since 1986. The Bills now move on to the AFC Divisional Round next weekend. And for USA Radio News, I'm Chris Bowens.
And that would be the Super Bowl, I think, 86. Nah, it was 85, I think. 85 Bears. Not good.
What's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Weekend Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Middleboro in Review. It is the 16th of January. And before we start today, during the USA Radio News, they're talking about last night's Patriots game, their worst defeat, one of their most lopsided defeats in the playoffs since 1986. And in 1986, they made the Super Bowl. And that was the famous 1986 Chicago Bears team that they were facing. They lost that game 46-10. So that is the lopsided game that USA Radio News was referring to. And unfortunately, last night they did lose 47-17. We'll be talking a little bit more about the Patriots later on in the show, but it was not a good game at all, and we'll be talking about it. If you want to call in and give your reaction to the game, and the way you could do that is 508 508-822-1106. Again, 508-822-1106. That is the number to call the station and give your opinion on anything we will talk about today. But just wanted to mention that right off the bat here, that the game that they were referring to was the 1986 Super Bowl with the Bears, the famous 1986 Bears, and the New England Patriots. Okay, so weather. Right now in Middleboro, it is 1 degree outside, 1 degree above zero. A high of 30 today, so it's going to be pretty nice out when it comes to the weather. A little bit better than the past couple of days, but we're still into the cold right now, 1 degree. Monday, tomorrow, rain in the forecast, 49 degrees with a low of 25. Tuesday, 30 degrees with a low of 17. And sunny outside. Driscoll, Texas, 38 degrees outside right now, so it is cold there as well. 68 for the high today, so it's not going to get too much warmer. In Driscoll, North Dakota, 34 degrees, a high of 35. On today in the show, we'll talk a little bit about the Patriots and that disaster last night. Talk a little bit about that later on. But we're going to be talking about hiking today. A little bit of talk about hiking and other things like that, like trails and hiking, and we're going to talk a little bit about that with Don. He's had some experience doing some hiking, and we'll talk a little bit about that with him. We're also going to talk about blood drives today. There's an importance for talking about that. We are at a critical low in the blood supply. The Red Cross is at a critical low with their supply. And we'll be talking about blood drives and where you can go get blood in the area. There's a couple coming up in February that we're going to talk about. And there's one coming up in the end of January, and a couple in February that I want to mention as well. So we'll be talking about that later on today as well. And we'll have some other stuff as well to talk about. Of course, we'll talk about Today in Histories, as we do every Sunday. Today in Histories, birthdays, and deaths that we usually talk about every single Sunday. Sometimes we do them at the end of the show. Sometimes we do them in the middle. It depends on how large I have of a list. Sometimes the list is big, and I do it during the middle of the show. But today it will be probably towards the end, as I'm looking here at my list of what I have today for Today in History. So at the end of the show, you'll be hearing about Today in History for January 16th, 2022. All right, so let's start the day talking a little bit about Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King Day is tomorrow. Bristol Community College will be hosting a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration of community, and that will be taking place from the 15th, yesterday, Saturday, January 15th, to Friday the 21st. There will be a bunch of events going on at Bristol Community College to celebrate Martin Luther King Day. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. And a little quick programming note. I will be doing the news tomorrow. We'll be here at the station at 7 a.m. Well, I'll be here bright and early before then, like maybe 6 or 5:30. And I'll be doing the news. I'll be filling in for Chris. And I'll be doing the news. I think Jim DuPont will be doing the 9 o'clock hour. And so stay tuned tomorrow because there will be a lot of programming. Me, 7 to 9, doing the morning wake-up news, and then possibly Jim DuPont doing Hometown Talk Radio at 9 to 11 o'clock. Okay, we're going to say good morning to Don. Good morning, Don.
Good morning.
So we were just talking about a few different things. The USA Radio News mentioned last night's game and how it was the Patriots, one of their worst playoff losses since 1986. And I mentioned that playoff loss in 1986 was the Super Bowl against the Bears, the famous 1986 world champion Bears, who beat us 46-10. So I mentioned that to begin the show. I mentioned the weather, of course, and mentioned that we're going to be talking about some blood drives coming up, and we are going to be talking about hiking as well, Donna, during the second segment. So we'll have all of that. And also, I mentioned MLK Day tomorrow, Martin Luther King Day. And Bristol Community College has a week of events. They'll have a virtual day of service on Monday the 17th. They'll have a National Day of Racial Healing as well. So during the week, they'll have a whole bunch of different things going on. And we're talking about that a little bit later on, too. About different Martin Luther King Day events going on in the area and in Bristol Community College in particular. We'll talk a little bit about that. And the importance of MLK Day as well. Me and Don will talk a little bit about that on today's show. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, like I said, we're going to talk about hiking and trail walking as well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We'll be right back, everybody.
That was pretty good. Pull that out of your hat.
What?
The loss that the Super Bowl in 1986.
Yeah.
Would you heard that?
I heard it, and I was like, I'm gonna figure this out.
That's
I
good.
knew it was the Bears. I knew that was the World Championship Bears.
The continuation of what USA News didn't say is what you put in, which is good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming down here and that, I was like, good way to go, Joey.
Okay, let me do my.
I like being here at 7 all the time, but it's kind of nice to hear you opening your show
Yep.
on the radio. It sounded all right. You know what I mean? On my truck radio.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We came out. I mean, it's starting to get a little daylight now. It's only gonna get better now.
Yeah.
A couple weeks.
Couple of weeks and it'll be light out.
Yeah, the sun's winning out on both ends.
It'll be a good thing because people will will be able to hear on the radio.
Martin Luther King was born on January 15th, 1929.
All right, yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, yes,
1929.
we'll talk about that
So what's that? Let's see, 92, 93?
a little bit later
29
on the show.
19,
And I
20,
have blood drives to talk about too.
He would have been 93, I think.
He would have been 90, yeah. Exactly.
93, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well-
Wait, no. What year was he born again?
1929.
1929. He would have been 92.
No, 19
No, it's 2022, not 2023. He would have been 93.
yeah, 93.
Yeah, yep, you're right. Nope, you're right.
Yeah, 19 to 20,
Yeah.
20 to 21,
Nope,
21
you're
to
right.
22.
You're right. Sorry, I'm not too good at
No,
math.
I had to think about it for a second, too.
Not too good at math.
Yeah, that's good. Tell the whole Facebook world that.
93. You would have been 93.
Anybody
everybody.
listening? Anybody listening?
It seems like someone is.
Yeah.
It says someone's watching.
Yeah, good.
So the person watching just is probably laughing right now. I'm not great at math.
Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop.
I can't believe it's 7:20 already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, where's the time go?
$14.95.
Yep.
They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508-583-1495.
Hi, this is Jim Locken. Hope you can join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on WBBM, the sounds
2:04.
of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and
Where is the Red Cross blood drives? Okay, here we go. Do that next. Do that next, and then do the segment on hiking.
WBBM, 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
The American Red Cross blood supply is at historically low levels this winter, and we're facing a dangerous situation across the country. Without the blood they need, hospitals may be forced to make tough decisions about patient care. Donors are needed now to ensure blood is available for everyone who needs it when they need it. The good news is, you can help. Make an appointment to give now. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. Patients are counting on you.
And we're back here on Middleboro in review. And as you heard on that PSA, the Red Cross is in need of blood. The historically low levels right now. And it's extremely important that if you can give blood, to do so. And I have a list here of blood drives that I put together. And just want to read off what they are, and if you're in the area during these dates, and the areas that these blood drives are going to be taking place, definitely go give blood if you're able to. Monday, January 31st, Senior Center Council on Aging at One Deer Crossing in Lakeville. That will be from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Monday, February 7th, 2022, Church of Our Savior, 60 Union Street in Middleboro, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. That is their monthly blood drive. They have a monthly blood drive that they hold, and that is their monthly date for February. Thursday, February 17th, at Connet Community Health Center at 5 Wally Kruger Way in Bridgewater. That is 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, February 19th, Lakeville United Church of Christ, 1 Precinct Street, Lakeville, Mass., 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And finally, the final one on the list here, Friday, February 25th, 2022, Christ Community Church, 41 Stevens Street, East Taunton, Massachusetts, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give blood if you're able to. Those are the dates coming up. If you're in the area on those dates, definitely make an appointment to go and to give blood. Okay, 7:24. On Thursday, I talked a little bit about the Fall River Bioreserve and why it is ideal for winter hiking. And that got me thinking about hiking in general, because I know Dawn has done some hiking, and we're going to talk to him here about that. So Dawn, you're hiking, what you've been doing for hiking. I know you've done a lot. Just tell us a few areas where you've hiked.
I haven't hiked lately because I have a knee injury, so that's kind of put me on the sidelines, got me on the ropes on that. But in 2016, I did 9 mountains. I don't know why I wanted to do 9, but I did 9. And they were a lot of fun, and 6 of them I hiked by myself because it's almost impossible trying to get someone to come with you. I think maybe 7 of them I did. Kevin Wynn, my buddy Kevin, came with me, and we did Mount Carrigan, which is off of, where the heck is that? From Route 302 up near Bartlett, in the lowest north of Bartlett. And that was, 4,000 something feet. I really don't exactly have the numbers there because I didn't have a chance to get them up. But that was a tough hike because it was like 98 degrees with humidity. And there's a fire tower on the top, which is like a 6-story fire tower, and that's really a beautiful vista, you know. So I've hiked into the mountain, but my favorite Mount Oswego. Mount Oswego, okay, which is over on the I-93 near Waterville Valley. That was just over 4,300 feet elevation, and that was so much fun because it's curvy. The paths are curvy, so I mean, you know you're going up a mountain, right? But you don't want to look at it. Who wants to look at a hill?
No, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Mount Carrigan was like you would look it up, and but Mount Oswego was really fun because it was curvy, and the path was, you know, it was narrow. It was like, you know, you were going up, but you really couldn't see that you were going up. And by the time you know it, you were up there. And then you had a real nice view of pretty much that side of the Kangamangas Highway. So when you get to the summit, when you plateau there, if you're looking north, I'd say northeast, that's a section, you can't see the Kangamangas Highway itself, the road, but you can see the mountains that the Kang goes through. So I did that mountain. That was the most. I did Mount Jefferson. That's the 3rd highest mountain in New Hampshire. What I liked about Mount Jefferson is when you summited it, it was about 47 and change as far as the elevation. But it's the best mountain I've ever hiked because you're overlooking Mount Washington, and you can see the Cog Railroad, and you can see the auto road, and you can see the little, you know, observation building up the top. It was clear as day when I did that. And then you look out to the horizon, and I think it was Mexico, Maine, and there was about maybe 20 wind turbines, you know, windmills. It just looked awesome. It was the best day, but that was you started at 27,000 at the trailhead over near the Cog Railroad, right off one of the roads, and you go up to 47. So you climb 2,000 anyway, and that was some hand over hand climbing, but nothing crazy. You know, it's not cliffs, but it's not like trails either. I did that by myself.
And another thing is trails. Now, I've done a couple of trails. Soul Homestead comes to mind. It's really nice. Soul Homestead's really beautiful, especially during the winter. I've done that during the winter. It's nice. It's very nice. So That's another. That's one that I would recommend. Another one that I would recommend is the high school has a nice little trail as well, which I've done some walking on.
When you were in school?
Yes, it's
Okay.
cross country. They use it for cross country,
Okay.
and it's really nice too. Definitely something I would recommend. Maybe not during the winter. Unless it's not cold. But it's a beautiful trail, as well. There's some other ones.
There's a lot of nice hiking trails around here, even the small little. I was listening to the gym last week when you were talking about that.
Yeah.
In DuPont, and he was talking about some of the. I mean, he's a Raynham guy, so he knows every nook and cranny of the area. So
Yeah,
I'm
and there's
sure-
some nice ones in Raynham.
Yeah.
If you were listening to
Even
Jim
at
DuPont on
Taunton,
Thursday.
the bird sanctuary is a real nice place.
Yeah.
That's up near behind Hannaford's up that side. But what's funny too is you have you have your disability and you have your leg braces and you've been dealing with that. But we used to go, and we probably can't do. We haven't really done it now because of COVID, but hopefully we could do it in the future later on. Hopefully things go away. It'd be nice. We went to the airport.
Yep, we walked a large portion
We
of.
walked it all.
Yeah.
We walked it all. We took
TF
the train.
Green, correct?
No, it was Logan.
Oh, it was Logan.
Yeah,
okay.
we took the train and we started. We took the train and then we took the.
And that's not a small airport.
No, we took the
everybody.
Silver Line. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we got off at Terminal A, and we walked. It all connects. Terminal A, B, C, the whole thing, and we.
It is
walked,
a huge
we walked,
airport. Yeah.
I think we walked every square inch.
we
of
walked,
that.
we walked everything. Yeah.
Every square inch that you could walk.
And
all the, yeah,
it was a lot.
We
but,
walked over
we
to
walked
Central
a lot.
Park and we
walked.
did all the bridges. We did everything, and it took us like 2.5 hours. I thought you would have died.
Another pretty
What?
large amount of walking that we did was D.C.
Yeah, in New York too.
and New York. Yeah.
We walked from. Where did we walk from? All the way up to Staten Island Ferry.
Mm-hmm.
From Penn Station or one of those stations, I think, off the Path Station, and then we did a lot of walking there too.
D.C. I think was 11 miles
Well,
that
who
we
knows?
walked.
I mean, in the course of the few days.
in the course of the few days that we
yeah,
walked.
we didn't
yes.
do it in one
We
day.
didn't do it one day. No.
No, I mean, and then you're doing it with your leg braces, and you
Yeah.
you got disability, and you're still out there hiking and walking, and I think you do better with street walking than trails. But the trails,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see you doing a mountain, but then again,
No.
hey,
Not now.
not now, but I mean, you never.
Maybe in the future.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe in the future, you can never say never.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was hiking, I've seen people up there with handicaps up on the mountains, up on the summits, up on the high elevations. I've seen people who are like in their 80s up there, and I'm sitting huffing and puffing, and this 80-year-old woman goes by. How you doing? I'm looking at her, I was like, I gotta, I better get out more.
All right. Well, that's like I said. There's still a lot to do during the winter, even though it's cold. You can still do a lot of walking around and hiking a little
There's
bit.
a different perspective with the winter. There's just a mechanism of beauty when it comes to the still of it all.
Mm.
I mean, even now, I used to work with my father delivering oil. Years ago, I used to ride with him all the time, and he had the South Shore community. It's the same route I have now. And we used to go down to Hull in the middle of the winter. And when you think of Hull as a kid, I used to take the bus to Paragon Park and ride, and spend time at the beach or whatnot. But in the wintertime, it's totally different because there's no crowd there. There's just the residents and whatnot. But there's a beauty of the stillness, of the isolation and just being quiet in the middle of the winter. It's always appealed to me, even as a child, even when I was younger, growing up, and I still like it. And I think of Hull because Hull was always the town I went to when I was young to go to Paragon Park and have fun. And in January, there's everything's closed down, and the beach is closed, and the Paragon Park is down. But I mean, even the the beach itself is everything's just buttoned up. So
And if you want to give us a call and talk a little bit about any of your experiences, maybe hiking or doing a trail, give us a call, 508-822-1106. We'd love to hear your experiences doing that. And especially if you maybe have done it during the winter, and tell us your experience on that.
there could be an area in Middleboro that we don't know about. I know if we drove around and found some little conservation parks that the town owns, and there's other entities that own land out there. Like World's End is another example. That's it's in Hingham, and it's huge, and its trustees own it, so it's owned by whoever the trustees are. Yeah, you gotta pay. I think it was $3 or $4 or $5. You park your vehicle and do your walk through there. It's really nice because that overlooks Hull, it overlooks Hingham Harbor and all that area. It's really nice. Believe it or not, I've never been there. I deliver oil like all in that area, and I see it. And I was talking to a customer of mine, and I was talking to her about it. She lived right at the entrance there, and not my customer, one of the oil customers. She says, "You never been there? You gotta go in there. Oh my God, I'll let you. Oh, no, I don't need your pass. I'll go pay the $5 or whatever. Oh, you gotta get in there." And sadly enough, I still haven't. But at some point, I'll probably drag you over there, and with a nice day, we'll walk through. But it's a lot of big hills. It's nothing really rocky. It's you'll bring a picnic lunch and hang out for the day, and just relax and look at the ocean, look at the water. That's probably a place to go.
Another nice area to go is there's a golf course in Quincy, or a golf area in Quincy, and it's kind of up there, kind of raised up a little bit. It's a nice area, and it overlooks Boston.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
Actually, Furnace Brook Golf Course overlooks Boston at some point. You can see parts of Boston. I used to go sledding there when I was a kid. I grew up right down the street, and we used to do the infamous first hole, and we used to slide down there. And it was the only way you could stop was the crash into the ballpark fence that was at the bottom of the hill. And I don't know, we had some bruises and cuts or whatnot, but that was crazy. That was some intense sledding. Especially those toboggan sleds, the plastic ones. Boy, you pick up some speed. And it was the infamous first hole in Furnace Brook Golf Course. Well, from it anyway, and you'd fly right down and then right, to South Central Ave or whatnot growing up. But there was plenty of places in Quincy growing up. I sledded everywhere, so I just, I saw kids sledding during the last snowstorm in some parts. And it was good to see them out. I know the snow melted pretty quick, but it's good to see people sledding and kids having fun, because that's a lot of fun. That's a real fun winter activity to go sledding with your family.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's there's a lot of things you can do during the winter that include the outdoors, even with the snow.
The old sleds.
Good.
The old sleds that they had back in the day, back in the 40s and 50s, and they were wood sleds, and they had the rails. You know what I'm talking about? The traditional sled.
I think so. Yeah.
Now maybe people use those because they were death traps. But I had a couple of those, and you could pick up some speed on those. Oh my God, those things flew, but they were metal. And what was happening with the kids is when they were getting their, they were getting seriously cut by the metal going so fast, because if they would get caught up, or their finger or something get, oh my God, it wasn't good. So they still really, I think they still sell them, but they kind of like phased them out. But in the 40s and 50s, if you go on Google and you type in child sled, it will be that old style sled. But I think that the toboggans, like the little toboggan sleds that I grew up with, were more dangerous because they were plastic and you picked up so much speed, and I had to bail out because I was heading to a fence, I was heading to a tree. All I could do was just bail out, and the sled would be going down and bouncing off the tree, and oh my God, it's just And you come home and you'd be soaking wet, and then you just go watch TV. It was good memories.
Another thing you can do during the winter is building snowmen, and I have seen some impressive snowmen that people have built. It's awesome to see that people and how creative people are with the building of snowmen as well. I've seen some very impressive snowmen over the years as well, and that's another very fun thing that you can do during the winter. So again, a lot of fun things you can do during the winter, and yeah.
If you get the right snow, you could build a really good snowman. It'll stay up for a while, and if it stays cold, and once you start building in it, you just don't stop.
It's fun. It's really fun.
No, I get it. I saw a snowman built at a oil customer's house, and they had like a bunch of them, like a little raccoon. And, I mean, they had a whole family of. I took a picture of it. Kind of looking for it now, but that was cool. I'm sitting there delivering the people's oil. I'm looking at the snowman. It was dark. It was I was like 5 o'clock or whatnot. But it was nice to see that, because it's just every little bit helps when you're out there, and it's dark and it's cold and whatever. But you see stuff like that, it just gives you a lift.
All right, it is the 7:40.
We ready for a commercial?
Yep, Mark. Here it's 7:40.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and there's actually a story out of Rochester I want to talk about here. So we'll be right back. Actually, the story out of Middleboro. We're going to talk a little bit about, not Rochester. It's Rochester related, but I believe it's a Middleboro story. Middleboro story that is actually national. So we're going to talk a little bit about that when we come back. We also will mention a little bit about Martin Luther King Day. Finish up with talking about events as well, and then today in history and stuff like that. Sports segment if we have time.
We got my rant.
Oh, yeah. We'll do that as soon as you come back.
Okay.
As soon as we come back.
Well, I'm bringing you into this, so don't promise them that much because it's been a few weeks since I.
Okay, so we're gonna.
I know Paul Lass is looking forward to my.
We're gonna try to get to as much as we can, but I definitely want to try to get to this. Nice story.
You gotta talk to Mark. We need a 2-hour show.
Okay, 7:41. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review. There's a story, let's see here. Get an ad going. Just mention it a little here.
If you are sick with COVID-19 or think you might have it,
Ryco Excavation in Middleboro offered a Rochester fire vehicle to KC and KY, Kentucky. KC, Kentucky. They offered a Rochester fire vehicle.
Would they buy it from the town?
No, I think it was just given. It was just given to KC, KY.
From the town?
From Ryco Excavation.
They bought a fire truck?
Yeah.
I don't
to give to KC. I'll.
You better figure that out.
I'll read the article.
Yeah.
I'll read the article.
I don't know,
I have the article
I'm
here.
kind of just scratching my head what you're talking about.
I'll read the article here.
They're based out of Rochester.
Rochester fire vehicle arrives as gift from storm-torn KC. To storm-torn.
Oh, to help out.
To help out, yeah.
Right, and Ryco's probably helping them out financing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Ryco, out they out of Middleboro? Or
Yeah,
Rochester?
Middleboro.
Okay, no, they're out of Middleboro.
Middleboro or Rochester.
Okay.
Yeah, let's check this out. Show everyone on the Facebook thing. Go to the snowmen. You got your You got your coffee over here, Joey.
Yeah, I'm not doing sports. I don't think I'm gonna have time.
Well, you said you would.
Don't think I'm gonna have time now.
Oh, then I got to cut the rant short. I'd not do it.
Alright.
I mean, you told everyone.
No, you do your rant.
Yeah, you have to do your sports though.
Yeah, okay. Alright. I'll get to it.
7:44.
I'll get to it. I'll get to it somehow. Alright, I'll do the most important thing, and that's NFL playoffs.
Call him today again.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Be a,
Give him a call.
exactly. Be a bill collector. Give him a call. All right.
Yeah.
Blow him out of bed. It's the only time he picks up.
I guess.
He's in bed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just ask him if he can keep playing the commercial with his voice. Is that all right?
Yeah. I'll just let him know
It's a great
I
commercial.
called CVMA.
It's a great commercial.
Yeah,
you did a really good job.
I called CVMA and
I know.
they haven't answered. So
Well, you gotta call them. You gotta blow them out of bed.
call CVMA again next week.
No, call him today.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about CVMA. I'm
No,
not
just
talking
call
about
him. He's still with him.
Well, he's not a part of CVMA
No,
anymore.
he's gotta get someone to call you. You just keep harassing him into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Come on. There we go.
All
right.
That getting sticky over there.
It's a pain. All right. And we're back here on Middleboro in review. It is 7:45. And, Don, your rant.
All right. Well, you gotta keep an eye on it. Don't let me go too long.
Yeah, 5 minutes, Don.
Okay. I'll try to do it in 3.
5
okay.
minutes.
I'll try to do it because I know you got things to do.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm starting out with the highway disaster in Virginia about a week and a half ago. All those people were stuck on I-95 for over 24 hours. Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia was among those people stuck in traffic or whatnot, and they were held hostage because of a few accidents. I think it started with some tractor-trailer jackknives or whatnot. The governor, Ralph Northam, was still the governor. The new governor was sworn in yesterday. Okay, so technically he was still governor. And you hear all these cable news people, all these heads spinning, blaming him, blaming other people, blaming the new governor who hasn't even been sworn in. And the governor said, Governor Northam said, look, these people shouldn't have been out there driving in the weather. And he got all sorts of... Well, I think he was right. You know, it's up to the people driving in this weather to be smart and maybe pull off the road, okay, if you're running into some weather. Okay? You just can't go full speed all the time. You gotta be smart and pull it, because now they were stuck on the side of the road, and it was horrific for a lot of people. And imagine having children, taking children into that situation. Everyone has their own reasons why, and I can't sit there and nitpick them all, because some people have to work. You got some you got some truck drivers driving the trailers. They jackknife. Were they forced by their boss? Did it have reservations? Hey, maybe I should pull over, and their dispatcher say, no, you gotta go. I did that. I drove a tractor trailer, and I ran through a couple storms. I didn't like it. I did not like it. That's why I stopped doing it, because they just go. We just go. I said, well, there's 2.5 feet of snow out there. When do we just go? Can we just plow the roads and let the guys plow the roads? And 2013, Governor Deval Patrick shut down the highway at 4 o'clock on the 7th or something like that in 2013. Everyone was uproar. Oh, well, they can't do that. There's 2.5 feet of snow coming. He's not saying you can't go outside. You just can't drive on the roads. We got to plow the roads. We have, because you got to have what they had in Virginia. You have to be smart. Mm-hmm. And that was a brilliant move, in my opinion. He got a lot of flack for that. And I thought that was the smartest thing he could have done. I wish Governor Baker did that in 2015. He really didn't do that. And I was trying to deliver oil, and there's so many people out there at some points. It was just crazy. And they didn't get a chance to really clean the roads. Okay? But Deval Patrick did in 2000. He said, I'm just doing it. I don't care. And the roads were cleared. And it was 4 o'clock on I think it was a Wednesday. I think so. I was looking up the article. It was a long time ago. Everything was cleared and done by the next morning. 7 o'clock, the roads were beautiful because no one was on it. Okay? People had to be like nurses and whatnot. A lot of those people who were nurses, they stay at the hospital. They sleep like in an empty room or something like that. They don't go home, right? They're not going to go home until, most people don't. You're kind of beached. So that's my rant. It's just, I think, it's not, you can't just blame everything on the government. Sometimes it takes responsibility on your behalf of the drivers. If you think it's crazy snowing, then make it off the road. Okay, I ran in a bad storm in New York coming back in the tractor trailer. I pulled over on the New York-Massachusetts state line, and I said, I'm going to stay here because I got a place where I get food. There's a parking lot. I'm not going to be stuck up on the Berkshire's highway on the side of the road waiting to get rescued by somebody. Because now the fire department has to come out, the state police have to come in now. They got to come and rescue you. And you could have just stayed beached and waited for the place. You just be patient. And then you just zoom home and everything's fine. Mm-hmm. So I just think I just think that they were giving Governor Northam all sorts of crap, and they shouldn't. He was absolutely right saying that.
And also giving the other guy unnecessary stuff as well.
He wasn't even
because he wasn't even a governor.
Right. So you got some people, some journalists out there, cable news journalists.
A lot of them.
Yeah, not even doing their homework.
Exactly.
And say, the new guy, oh my God, because of this or because of that. He's
when he wasn't even sworn in. You know what I mean? That's a problem too.
Youngkin's Republican, Northam's Democrat. Okay? Whatever. I don't care. Okay? Mm-hmm. Northam was right.
Yes.
He was right by saying it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay? So, people need to smarten up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, I know people need to go to work, but, all right? But, just come on. All right? I would never get stuck on that. If it was getting bad, I'd get off the road. And I know a lot of people don't have that option, but what's your other option? You sit in a house, you just sit in a car, stranded for 24 hours, or maybe pull over and get a hotel or something for the night. A little more comfortable. I mean, it might cost some money, but then you got people running out of gas and freezing, and then everyone's a victim. Everyone's in crisis. And now you got thousands of people stuck on it. So what can the government do?
Okay, thank you, Don, for that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for that. NFL, real quick. So Patriots did lose. They're out, unfortunately. One of their worst losses in the playoffs again since 1986. They did not play well. Mac Jones, he played okay. Two touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, it's not great. Obviously, they lost, but he played. I think he played okay for what they had going on in that game. The Bengals also are moving on in a very close one against the Raiders. Today, the Steelers and the Chiefs, Eagles and Tampa Bay, and 49ers and Cowboys, and tomorrow, Cardinals versus Rams to finish off Wild Card Weekend. We'll see what happens with that one. I have a feeling we're going to see a major upset today. And I think that major upset is going to come in the Chiefs game. I think the Steelers are going to beat the Chiefs. I will say it right here, right now. I think the Steelers will beat the Chiefs in overtime tonight. I think that's going to happen. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's my major prediction for the wild card weekend is the Steelers will beat the Chiefs. All right.
You gonna get that article on?
Yeah, I do have the article. So
you can fit that in.
Let's talk about this story here. A Rochester fire vehicle arrived as a gift to storm-torn Casey, Kentucky. And the vehicle, which was given by Ryko, and that's in Middleboro. And they offered to transport the vehicle to its new home. The company selected a very fitting driver to make the long haul, one of their employees, Jim Wilkeston, who served 35 years in the Middleboro Fire Department and retired 11 years ago as captain. Wilkeston said he was happy to answer the call when the company suggested he make the drive. He was escorted by Massachusetts State Police from Rochester to the New York state line. From there on, he was on his own. During the trip, which took 18 hours over 2 days, the sight of the Massachusetts fire truck, hundreds of miles from its home base, drew some curious looks and questions on the CB radio when he pulled over for brakes. And the story goes on a little bit here. I suggest everyone go and read it. It's in the SippekinWeekToday.com. This story here.
That's a great story.
It is. It's fantastic.
That's a great
That's
story.
fantastic.
To be escorted to the state border by the Massachusetts State Police.
It's fantastic.
That's great.
And also just Rochester helping out a lot with Casey.
And the
Casey
company
Kentucky.
too. And the company.
And Ryko as well.
Yeah, they
so
were.
Big hand of applause.
Yeah, kudos.
Big
for
round
them.
of applause for them.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I mean, that's people thinking about other people. I mean, you know, we're pretty much we're a thick country. We all care about each other.
Mm.
It's they try. The news, the cable news is always trying to tear us apart, but we're not torn apart.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of strong personalities in the United States. That's just what it is. But
Okay.
I mean, that's it.
Absolutely.
Good article, Joey.
Thank you. All right. One of our oldest Today in Histories starts us off today. 27 BCE. Gaius Julius Caesar Octavius is granted the title Augustus by the Roman Senate, marking the beginning of the Roman Empire, the major superpower, one of the first superpowers, I think. One of the first superpowers is the Roman Empire. Huge empire that
What
it
about
was.
What about the Mongols?
It was huge.
I mean, there was so many of them. You got to read up on that too before you say that. I mean,
What?
That they were the first. I don't think they were the first. But whatever. Go ahead.
The Mongols?
No, the Roman Empire. I don't think they were the first.
Were the Mongols before the Roman
I
Empire?
don't know. You got to do your homework, kid. I don't know.
But the Roman Empire was huge.
I know.
So, I mean,
I know, but
that's why I said that.
I-
Because they're huge.
But I mean, kind of look it up though. See, I mean, just find out if you're.
Anyway, the Mongols also were, because they were huge.
Oh, Mongolia's huge, yeah.
Yes. But Roman Empire had a lot of influence. That's why I said that, because
Okay.
they had a lot of influence.
Right.
Not just in their sphere, but kind of around the world.
Right. No, you
They
might
had,
be right.
they had their influence.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe one of the first,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah. That's maybe. Then word maybe goes a long way there.
Yeah.
Because some guy out there, no, that ain't right.
I mean,
screaming at you all
what
over the radio.
was
He's
before
wrong.
them? I'm trying to remember what was before them. There might have been.
You know
There
what?
might have been some others that
Give
were
you
before
a
them.
little tidbit to look up.
Anyway, I mean, I don't have time to.
Well,
So-
next week I was right.
I don't have time to. But next week I will. I'll mention if there was someone before them.
I'm killing on you.
That's the one I remember.
I'm killing you. I know. Go ahead.
It's the one I remember.
I know.
Whatever.
I know.
Anyway,
Whatever.
2003. Starting next week's show, we'll talk about that.
Okay, 2003.
2003, the Space Shuttle Columbia takes off for mission STS-107, which would be its final. Columbia disintegrated 16 days later on re-entry. 2006, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is sworn in as Liberia's new president. she becomes Africa's first female elected head of state. That was a huge day. That marked a huge day in Africa's history. January 16th, 2006. Birthdays. 1821, John C. Breckinridge, American general and politician. He was the 14th president of the United States. Don, what president did he serve under as
Who's
vice
this?
president? John C. Breckinridge.
Breckinridge? What's Buchanan? No?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, you don't even know?
I don't know. I'm not. Hold on.
You should have known.
It wasn't Lincoln. Hold on.
I think it was.
Hold on.
I think it was
Hold
Buchanan.
on.
I'm like,
Yeah,
guessing.
it was Buchanan.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
thought I read that.
Yeah.
I know we're presidents. I'm still working on my vice presidents, so
You're
I'll
right.
get back to you on that.
1949, Annie F. Bueller, American businesswoman, and founded Auntie Annie's.
The cookies. The cookies or the pretzels?
The
pretzels.
The pretzels, yeah.
Oh.
Annie's, yes.
Yeah.
1985, Joe Flacco, American football player for the Ravens, currently playing for, I believe, the Jets. Just a great player.
Jets.
The great player from Baltimore. He's had several great playoff games and playoff wins, and and deaths on this day. In 2010, January 16th, Glenn Bell, American businessman. He founded the taco superpower Taco Bell. So, yeah.
So his last name was Bell, so that's weird.
It makes sense.
Yeah. But I mean, even if his last name wasn't Bell, that's a good name for a company, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, yeah.
But that's funny. That's his last name, so it just kind of fell into place.
Okay, 8 o'clock. Next week, when we start the show, I will make sure to mention if there was any other, major superpower before the Roman Empire.
You better do your homework, kid. You better
Well,
read up on that.
when everyone talks about the Roman Empire, I mean, they mention,
I hear you. I'm just
they're massive.
I'm just being a stickler.
They're massive, influence
probably right.
around the world.
Okay, well.
So I know there was some other ones, the Phoenician, the
Okay,
Phoenicians,
you know what? It's 8:01.
and some other ones
gotta
as
go.
well.
All right.
Anyway, 8:01, we'll be back.
Have a great week, everybody.
We'll be back next week, and have a great week, everybody. Have a great MLK Day and a great week. Bye-bye,
And listen
everybody.
to Joey in the morning.
Yes, I'll be on tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Bye-bye, everybody. No, you're right. You're right about that. I probably shouldn't have said that.
That's a lot of fun, though. Because you got someone like, you got somebody.
No, when historians talk about the Roman Empire,
No, you were right.
they say the Roman Empire has a lot of influence.
But there's one guy out there listening who knows everything about that, and saying he's wrong, but never called.
The Mongols probably.
Who knows?
I don't know about the Mongols, but I think they came after the Roman
I don't
Empire.
know nothing about him.
Yeah, me neither. I think they came after the Roman Empire, but I can look that up. I don't know. I mean, I'm not perfect in history. I mean, I passed it, so. Math is horrible. Math, I failed several times before. So. Math, don't ask me anything about math. All right, bye-bye, everybody. Have a great week. And we'll start with that next week. Bye-bye.